So, in this book, you were born on a research spaceship traveling between galaxies. Your parents are both from different galaxies, but somehow you're all humans. According to the story, if you're born in space, you get to choose which parent's galaxy you want citizenship in. Why not just both? What sort of jerks run these galaxies? Are all galaxies the same government? Have they all actually agreed to this born in space law? That's just details, baby. This is a Montgomery book. You can put that crap in your pocket and just move on.
It don't matter. None of this matters.
So, I will have to choose between the planet Phonon and the planet Zermacroid. Who the hell named these worlds? Page 1, and it's decision time. Let's go to Phonon. Turns out Phonon is my dad's homeworld, so off we go, and immediately, literally the same page, I find myself in a mysterious nebula with outrageous radiation levels. Okay, somehow I'm supposed to be worried about this stuff, but if I'm traveling through space, what the hell am I doing in a ship with no shielding from radiation? I'm no scientist, but space is pretty damn radioactive. If people have perfected space travel in the future, as this book supposes, then why are we flying around without radiation shields? I don't know. Maybe the ship does have some kind of barrier because it mentions that life support systems may fail. Who knows? This is literally the second page of the book. Right into the fire. Another choice. Return to the mothership or trust my instincts and just go on ahead? I'll trust my instincts. Well, that went well. Now somehow my spaceship is tumbling around at high speeds. Apparently I'm spinning around so fast now that I'd probably get out of this evil monster nebula pretty soon. How small is this nebula exactly? That seems like a strange supposition. Or I could radio for help. I'm way the hell out in space. It seems to me if I radio for help, it will be many years before anyone arrive, but then again, I literally just started out, so I guess I must not be that far away from where I started. I'm just gonna stay the course. I'm not asking for help. Well, there's a popping sound. It was probably me getting a fart rattled out from this tumbling spaceship.
Good Lord, Jandis!
Farted right into my butthole.
I'm thrown into a transit lane that consists of laser beam highways. A transit patrol car is motioning for me to follow him. Am I busted? What is this? Well, at the patrol station, I'm told there's a band of entertainers traveling around space who may stop at Phonon, or may not, who knows, and a space caravan that I could join up with. This caravan also may or may not go to Phonon. I have to make a choice, but oddly enough, there is no choice for me to just continue on my way. I have to join one of these groups. This is a strange plot branch. I'm trying to get to my dad's homeworld, and I've kind of been forced into being a hobo now. Also, this book really seems to have a set of choices on every single page. This is crazy. Well, I guess I'll just join the space caravan. So I meet the leader of the caravan, and I'm told she is a beautiful Numanian. I have to use a language translation device to speak with her. She says her group never really knows where they're going. They just pick up exotic delicacies and other items. They're currently on their way to Earth to deliver black hole dust. I'm not even gonna ask. Apparently Earthlings believe it will give them eternal youth. She laughs and tells me that Earthlings are foolish and always want what they can't have and only want unimportant things anyway. Baby, it is not an R.A. Montgomery book without a lecture tossed in. I was wondering where it was gonna pop out. Earth is a strange place because people are rushing and buying. I won't fault Montgomery's take on people here. It's true, but it's kind of bluntly written. So do I want to stay on Earth or keep going? Well, I'm reading a book about space travel. I don't want to stay on Earth. I want to get out of here. Okay, some other pilot just picked a fight with me and says I don't belong on their caravan and I'm being marooned on Earth. That came from out of nowhere. No doubt this is an R.A. Montgomery book, but at least it wasn't an ending, except that it actually kind of was because it told me to try again, but this time go to Zermacroid. Okay, so basically I just kind of started over. So, Zermacroid is my mom's home world, and before I head out, she gives me a small metal object on a chain. Must be some jewelry or something that'll come in handy later in the story. A guy named Murmah comes running over and insists on coming with me to help me out. Okay, I have a wingman now. I'm being told that I should go through Space Academy first, or I can just leave if I want, but I should watch out for a star 12 times the size of the sun. If it's that big, I think I can see it, guy. I'll go around it. I'll just leave. I bet I get scolded here for not going to school, but with Montgomery, you really don't know what'll happen. I may turn to the next section and find myself wrapped in plastic, being beaten with a stick and fed to space spiders. Okay, Murmah and I are being pulled into a black hole because I accidentally mistyped some data into the flight plan. Guess I should have went to that got space cool and took a damn typing class. Hilariously, my choices are now to try and reverse away from the black hole before it's too late, or to just gun it full power ahead and land on the black hole. Oh boy, you know I have to pick this idiotic decision and fly into the black hole and attempt to land on it. I have to know what Montgomery wrote here. You are never heard from again. Well, alright, that's anticlimactic. He could have described what would have happened at least. I mean, damn, the picture doesn't even look like a bad ending. That is a wasted opportunity for a classic choose your own adventure gruesome ending. Oh well, let's just go the more sensible route. Okay, so we put up some shields and try to reverse away, but the gravity from the black hole is too strong. We get pulled in anyway. Somehow, this does not rip us to shreds. We just go into a super bright tunnel and land in a prism thousands of miles across. Myrma and I leave the spaceship to start a new life here. The people are friendly and the work is pleasant?
Not sure what's going on here.
Okay, maybe I should have gone to space school. I have a decision to make here. I can attend the actual Space Academy, or I can explore the knowledge within myself. What the? Okay, so I have to do this explore within myself thing. This should be good. Okay, I end up traveling to Earth's past, and now I'm a dinosaur running around with a time machine device clutched in my claw. After a conversation with another dinosaur, I nearly get eaten by a T-Rex and quickly hit the button to escape. I have two buttons though. I can hit erase or time return. Hitting erase just sends me back to the beginning of the book, so I'll hit time return. I arrive at the very dawn of human evolution on Earth millions of years ago, and it's an ending telling me that maybe I should hang around and see what happens, and maybe I can change it all. In another branch, I met some weird aliens that were a huge blob and attempted to possibly kill me in their search for a new planet. And another branch had me exploring a planet ravaged by a disease. I wound up in another section that offered a choice that told me right there that one choice was an immediate end, or I could choose the other and keep going, kind of like the just stop here choice in the Lost Jewels of Nabuti. Another branch found me on a planet called Orgone, but then a page later the story calls it Earth. Which is it? Some of the endings you may come across in this book: joining a space circus and becoming a trainer of quarks, exploding your own spacecraft with your broadcast for help, whatever, getting a job to go on a 12-year mission to uncharted regions of space. Only 12 years? That is one fast spaceship. Going back in time to the Big Bang and becoming a part of everything. Forever. Fighting for your life and a potential disaster in space and then realizing you were just dreaming. How many Choose Your Own Adventure books has that ending been in? Studying the cause of revolt on Mars and becoming part of a new political system where people learn to share. Staying on Earth and trying to make it a better place. Joining a war where beings of light fight against beings of shadow and you join forces and then think the whole thing is just dumb and quit. That's kind of another way of looking at this book. And here's an ending you just have to read for yourself. Following a choice to go fly into a star. This is clearly a stupid idea, but it is actually an option. Spoiler alert, you die. Somehow going so fast that you merge into empty starriness. Okay. Reading a book of all your past lives over the 6 million years. Negotiating peace between two opposing forces who have forgotten what war was even about. Fighting in a war and then deciding to retreat, which bewilders the other side, so they retreat too, and then there is peace. Murdering some aliens that pissed you off, and then wondering if that really made you feel any better.
I feel good.
Retreating during a war, and then all energy sources on the planet immediately disappear. Everyone becomes hunters and gatherers. Promoting the sharing of energy throughout the galaxies. Being in a war and trying to negotiate peace with the other side, but being captured anyway as the war rages on. While on Earth, asking a student what a student is, and then being kidnapped by him so he can study you. One of the weirdest endings in the book. Also while on Earth, asking a politician what a politician is, and then being captured and exploited as a curiosity from outer space. Becoming a space pirate and making tons of money, only to find out that the universe governing body has set up a new political and economic system that doesn't require money. So now all your loot is useless. You're out of a job because everyone shares things now, so there's nothing for you to steal. And here's an absurdly written ending. And here's a very preachy ending. There are people on a planet afflicted with disease, and you discover that the cure is simply for them to lay out at night under their 3 moons for 3 weeks with no solid food and only moderate liquids. This book has tons of endings, many that don't even seem like they really should have been the end, and they kind of come from out of nowhere. I'll give Montgomery credit, though, for trying to tackle things like pollution, war, racism, political systems, and equality in a kid's book. It obviously could have been better written in places, but at least he was attempting something more than just an adventure story, although sometimes it definitely comes off as a little preachy. I don't remember liking this one as a kid, actually. Packard wrote these space books much better. I frequently found myself wondering what the hell I was reading. This book is weirdly chaotic and all over the place. It's bad, but there are times that it's bad enough that I actually found myself laughing out loud and enjoying it a little bit. It's just as off the wall as Lost Jewels in the Booty, but unfortunately without as much unintentional humor. No doubt the books in this series got better a little later on. These early ones, particularly Montgomery's, are just strange, running in a million different directions with far too many endings. I always found myself fascinated with these early ones, even though they generally weren't very good. Also, let's talk about the artwork in this thing. Paul Granger's illustrations are basically ass in this book. What happened? He really phoned it in on this entry. I mean, some of the drawings are okay, but his work is typically better than this. Also, the character you play in this book laughably looks like Elvis. Space Elvis. Not Granger's finest hour, for sure. I can't say I'm a fan of this one. It was bad, but not quite bad enough to be really funny. I found myself thinking there were times this book should have been entitled Space and Beyond Comprehension. Oh, remember that jewelry my mom gave me before I took off for her home world? That thing that screamed like foreshadowing? Yeah, that was never mentioned anywhere in the story again. R.A. Montgomery, bitches. So, until we read again.